Alright YouTube, so far this is the fuse that we took out. 80 amp. Not a bad fuse, you know, it does its thing, but the locking mechanism seems like it's like a cheap spring inside of it, which is probably why the compressors kept kicking off. So get rid of that. So we got these two better fuses, like as you can see. The power wires are hooked up to both of them. So each compressor is going to be running off its own fuse. And that's the extra battery with the battery cover. So now if there's ever an issue with one of the compressors, this is going to open up. And it's going to shut off one of the compressors when it won't shut off both. This goes to the controller, so this is going to be my main power for the controller. So I got rid of that distribution block we talked about. We don't need that no more. And then pretty much the only thing left is just two relays, which is what's making everything a little messy if you think about it. So I'm gonna see if I can locate these in a better spot so that they don't look as messy. Yeah, I'm gonna locate these in a better spot so they won't look messy, but these are the waterproof relays. And then that black wire, it's gonna be power. I don't know why, but this relay is weird. Usually, you know, the red's power, black is brown, but on this one, the black is power. So I'm gonna have to extend that to that one up there. The other relay over here, I'm gonna extend that one down there. The controller still haven't came in yet, but pretty much where it was leaking from was up here. Focus. That's where the compression was. It was leaking on top. So I put a compression on there instead of the quick to connect. On this side, did the same thing and haven't had any issues. And then that compression's been good. And that compression's been good. As far as that goes, the wiring doesn't look too bad. It looks a lot more scarier than what it is. But it's not too bad. I just taped everything up. Once I'm done fixing that ratchet nest, we got a slight issue here. So this wire right here is the ground for the manifold. I soldered both of these wires yesterday just to make sure that they're not fraying on me. They came out the controller, so I'm gonna have to lengthen this wire a little bit, either that or no, I don't even have to lengthen it. I'm gonna take these two screws out. I'm gonna move this over a little bit. I'm still keeping this because this is all my grounds are at. I'm gonna move that over to the left. Plug that back into the Molex. And after that, we Gucci. Alright, YouTube, still not done yet, but both relays are up there now. The wiring is way neater than what it is. This wire I'm gonna shorten by a lot, because that only goes to the compressor, so that's gonna get shortened up. Probably like this. Put a blue connector on there. This black wire is the main power to the relay. Now I'm gonna have to make that longer to make it go this over here. This one's a little long too, so I'm gonna cut that. Put a bucket ring terminal right there. Fuse number 2. This one I'm gonna take out, put behind the wire. This blue wire, I'm just gonna run that off the remote, so I'm gonna cut that, make that shorter. I'm gonna cut this wire, make this wire shorter. After that, I'm gonna tie wrap everything, and everything should be nice and neat. Now I'm gonna take this manifold, move it over to the left, so I can plug these wires back in. Alright, so basically what's going on is that when I initiated the car, As you can see in my other videos, I did a pretty nice setup. But when she had got back from vacation, within a week or two of driving the vehicle, she really wanted to have her music back in her car. So what we did was, being that she is doing a sponsorship from me and I'm sponsoring the vehicle, I decided to do something different. So, you know, when I originally did the setup, the day that I was supposed to do it, she couldn't drop off the car that early. So she could only drop it off after 3. When she got out of work after 3, she got to my place around 4. In between 4 and 7:30, they didn't really give me enough time, because you know it gets dark around 7:30, and after that it was going to be hard to see. So I had to do a rush job on it. So I came up with a quick solution, because the old setup wasn't going to work. Because when I put it on top of the speaker box, it was too tall and you couldn't see out the back window. Her main concern is that she wanted to make sure that she was still able to see out the back window without having an issue. So the new setup that I did now is pretty much, if you look at my other videos, now the tank is sitting on top of the speaker box. I had to rebend all brand new lines. All of the fittings that are on there, I had to cut them off, cut the pipe off, take out the fitting. I have to install brand new washers. I have to reseal everything, make sure that none of the fittings were leaking. And the other issue that I couldn't really fix was the wiring, because by the time 7:30 came, 8:30 came, it was extremely dark. She was tired. She had to go home. She had to sleep. She had to go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I wasn't trying to hold the person up. So what I did was, that's the reason why the wiring was so messy. Because I told myself, I told her, as soon as you get an opportunity and you're free, and you're able to leave me the car for at least a couple of days, leave it for me, and then I can clean up all the wiring. And that's pretty much what you're seeing now, is I'm taking the opportunity to clean up all the wiring, make sure everything's nice and neat. Now, instead of doing one single ADM fuse, now we're doing 2 ADM fuses, so one for each compressor, just so that we can make sure that if there's ever an issue, at least one of the compressors will shut off and not both. And then she don't have to worry about being stuck somewhere where both compressors are off and she don't know how to, she has no air to air up the car. But at least I had showed her well enough so that if she ever had an issue, she knows how to go back there. She knows how to reset the fuses. You know, she knows how to work the remote and all the other, in the case of an event where she gets stuck, she knows how to troubleshoot in a way where if she'll need me, she won't call me. But if it's something that she can't fix, then I'm gonna come down and fix it. So tomorrow I'm gonna finish up the wiring 100%. I do gotta get some more butt connectors, and I gotta stop by my shop and pick up some ring terminals. I don't have ring terminals either. After that, tomorrow everything's gonna be 100%, and then this coming a week, if not next week, I gotta drop off the car so they can do the alarm on it. Which is the other reason why I want to make sure everything's nice and neat, because I want to make sure the technician that was gonna do the alarm for that vehicle wasn't gonna talk shit about my wiring. So I had to make sure everything was nice and neat. As far as that go, YouTube, I don't post much videos of me working on the cars, because it's gonna take up too much time. And besides it taking too much time, is I'm not gonna sit there and edit 45 minutes worth of video to make it into a 10-minute video. It's just gonna be too much work. But if you do have any questions, any suggestions, or you want to know how I did that setup or what tools I used, feel free to send me a message in the comment section, and I'll be sure to write back. All right, YouTube, we out.